Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's realistic review in which we are taking a look at the A-26B-50 sitting at 5.3 battle rating, an American attacker in rank 4 that is quite sturdily built, packs quite a punch with bomb loads and has an amazing rack of 50 cals forward facing. 8 50 cals in the nose and 6 in the wings is quite nice firepower. And you can do a lot of destruction in this plane against the enemy team, either in air RB as a ground pounder or in ground RB. You will be a menace. It has a lot of ammo as well, so it is quite a complete little attacker. Quite sturdy, as I said, decently fast in the dive, and quite enjoyable to fly. It's not very maneuverable or anything, but yeah, the plane has its strengths, and that is nice. Before we get into the details of this magnificent little plane, do make sure to smash the like button. That helps me out immensely. Leave me a comment. I always love the interaction with you guys, and it also helps the channel out. And of course, if you haven't yet, do subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more content on the way, so if you can, do hit that subscribe button. For the rest, I have my Discord available to you guys now. You can join there as a YouTube member. The link is in the description, and I would also ask you to join me on Locals and Rumble if you can and have the time for that. Now, let's get into the plane. This is a decent plane, reasonably fast in a straight line. Maximum speed in the plane at sea level without web is 534 kilometers an hour. With web 567. At 4,500 meters she can take you to 446 without web, 465 with, or 56, sorry. And then at 6,500 meters you can take her to 665 without web and 685 with. Now that web is decently powerful, will help you a little bit in a pickle when you have an emergency, which is of course what it's meant for. A little bit more power, that helps. In a dive the plane is okay. I mean 682 before she redlines, 700 before she rips apart. In steeper dives this thing can rip earlier. There is almost no window in any dive before the redline and the rip. It's just 20-30 kilometers. You can rip very fast when you're in a dive, and you should only do shallow dives in this plane when you're going fast. So you should really pull out of your dive quite quickly before ripping this plane. You don't want to do that. It's quite a rippable, let's say. Control stiffening comes in at 450 and 600, and the roll rate is bad to begin with, so it really has an atrocious roll when it gets to 500-600 kilometers an hour. It's not good. Very difficult to get the guns on target. It's boom and zooming is really not something you want to do. She can be a support fighter, but not in any particular traditional fighter style. Stall speed lies around 140-ish kilometers an hour, because she does have two powerful engines that are really nice and do compensate for the weight a lot. Power to weight ratio is decent. Ammo loads and firepower. The firepower in this plane is excellent, as I said. You have 8 12.7mm M2 Browning machine guns in the nose with 360 rounds per gun, and then that is added to with 6 12.7mm Browning machine guns in the wings with 300 rounds per gun. So an excellent firepower with great ammo loads. You have also two turrets, double 12.7mm, double 50 cal, both on top and on the bottom facing to the back, with 500 rounds per gun, which is quite good ammo load for turrets. You can also equip this plane with bombs, of course, as I mentioned, and with rockets. No combinations possible though. You have 4 1000 pounders as a load, 6 500 pounds, 8 250 pounds and 16 100 pound bombs, depending on which modification you have unlocked. You also can equip her with 14 HVAR rockets, which is also an interesting load if you want to go after columns and stuff like that. For belts I would use universal belt. There's a lot of incendiary in there. The tracers are also very usable. The default belt is with ball ammo in it. It's a little bit of an old-fashioned belt there, with 2 ball shells in there, 1 tracer, an incendiary and an API. As I said, universal belt has 3 times API, 1 tracer and an incendiary, so that's all incendiary in there. Ground belt has the tracer shell, then 3 AP shells, an API and an incendiary shell. Quite a bit of other shells than just AP in there. Then the most of the late American belts, they have usually in ground, they have 3 AP and an API tracer. But in this case there's a lot of different shells in there. In the tracer belt, in this one is 5 tracer and an API, which is also not the traditional late American belt. And the stealth belt has an AP, 2 API and 2 eyes. I cannot really read it. I wrote it too small, god damn it. I cannot really read the stealth belt. Well, it doesn't matter, but anyway. I wouldn't use stealth belt as a first choice anyway. I would use either universal or tracers for air, and for ground targets I would use the ground belt. But anyway, I use it as a mix, right? You go into air RB, you want to be able to shoot aircraft down, so I use universal and tracers. Tested them out, both of them, and that works quite well, and I didn't necessarily put on the ground belt in this case. But in ground RB you might want to put on that ground belt. It has more armor piercing in there, so yeah, all viable when it comes to that, except for the default belt, because that one has ball ammo in it, and that is just not workable. Acceleration in this plane in a straight line is decent. In a dive it's good, but not initially. It takes a little bit of time to wind that up, and then you have a window where the acceleration is good. For the rest it's just decent. Energy retention in the horizontal and in the vertical, both of them decent. It is a big plane with a lot of drag, so the energy retention is not that great. The climb rate in the plane is average. Despite the powerful engines, you do have a lot of weight on this plane, especially when you're still carrying a load. The climb rate is not good. When it's empty and you shot a bit of ammo, it might go to average, but no more than that. Or it might go to decent, sorry, but no more than that. Turn time in the plane is below average. Average with flaps, which rip off at around 630 kilometers an hour, which is quite good. You can use the flaps for a long time, especially as the plane doesn't have that great of top speed in a dive, for example. So you rarely reach the speeds where the flaps rip off. The roll rate in the plane is bad. It really rolls quite like a bomber. And oh, my phone goes off. That is very nice. I can't take that right now. I am making a video, god damn it. Maneuverability overall is below average to bad. Overheating in the plane is bad as well. Plane overheats quickly and it doesn't cool off that quickly, so you need time to manage that. Cannot make it overheat that long, because it's difficult to get it back, and especially when you're in a pickle, you're gonna need that extra little power, so you want to keep an eye on your overheating. Durability is very good. Can soak a lot of damage, this plane, and yeah, that's just cool to have. She's sturdily built and can even fly without a wingtip, so that's nice to have. The repair cost in the plane is 7,079 Silver Lions, which is on the high side. It's not the highest that I found in the game at 5.3. I checked everything, but it's up there. It's definitely not cheap. The rewards in the plane. For research point you have a 332% modifier with a 1.66 multiplier, and for the Silver Lions you have a 300% multiplier with a 300% modifier with a 2.0 multiplier, and that is actually both of those are average. So yeah, it's a little bit early today, man. I'm speaking out of my ass a little bit. I can't finish my sentences. Bloody hell. But yeah, the rewards in this plane are average, and the research points are on the high sides, and you're definitely gonna get a lot of planes attacking you, so you're gonna die here and there. So it's not a economy efficient plane, let's say. This plane can be used in the close air support role and as a support fighter. As I said, she has a lot of ammo, pillboxes, light pillboxes, artillery, howitzers, AA guns, you know, everything when it comes to that. Soft targets, vehicles, you can all shoot that with the guns. Then you have the bombs or the rockets to complement that for the harder targets, and you have quite a little beast on your hand. And when you're not the focal point of a dogfight, you can also help a lot in air-to-air confrontations. When you're flying in a squad and help your teammates out, you can use that very much to your benefit. And the plane performs in both roles very well, and is enjoyable to fly. But as I said, to get most out of it, to get your research points in and get some good results, you're gonna have to use that ground pounding ability, because as a fighter you cannot hang on in a one-on-one dogfight, for example. It's gonna be difficult. You do have the turrets, but all in all, this plane is too heavy for that. So you need to be very clear on your goals here. And ground pounding and support fighting is where you want to focus, and so you want to stay out of the middle of the map. You want to stay out of those furballs, and you want to come in from the sides, throw off your bombs, and then shoot a plane or two. That's what you want to do. Yeah, so almost 25,000 Silver Lions, and not great on the rewards, as I said. Hey guys, so here we are after the match. Now the B-50 is quite nice with those 50 cals. It makes for nice confrontations in the air, as you will get confrontations because people are looking. There are people specifically looking for ground pounders, right? You know that they're the first targets in, and usually people who, I don't want to discriminate, but people with a little bit less skill look for these planes. And as you often, I mean, the top fighter pilots will often in a match will climb a little bit at least, and try to get their plane in a position where they can use them. And the people going for the ground pounders are often the people who want to get the easier rewards. And thus, as an experienced pilot in a plane like this, you will also be able to compensate against those more average players who go after those ground pounders immediately, right? Because you have the higher skill cap, and they will not use their plane 100% effective. So even though those planes are often more maneuverable and come from the energy advantage, you as the better pilot will be able to compensate somewhat in this plane, and you will often be able to get out of dodge and get 1, 2, 3 enemy fighters and kill them, because you do have a lot of forward facing firepower, and you know the tricks of forcing people into a compression and into an overshoot. So and you may be able to use the turret effectively as well. So there is that, and that is the reason why I get good results from this plane, and you have to judge from your experience level what you could get out of this. Do you have problems with people boom and zooming on you? Then this plane will be more painful to you. If you are very well versed in camera control and plane control, and you know how to reverse situations, then you might be able to get better results even out of this plane. So yeah, you got to make a judgment with that, but just try the plane out. She's fun. Throw out a few bombs, use the 1450 cals. It's devastating firepower. It's quite nice. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.